Treasure Coast Connector, connecting residents and businesses of the Treasure Coast. And here's your host, Ellen Contreras.
Well, welcome to Treasure Coast Connector. I'm your host, Ellen Contreras of the Ferris Group, one of our sponsors. They're a business advisory management company that provides outsourced services for all types of businesses. To learn about them, visit the website at www.ferrisgroup.com. That's PHARUS group.com, or call them directly at 772-223-3344. Treasure Coast Connector is a show that puts a spotlight on the business owners, so we learn all about them, why they started their business, and what makes their products and services so unique and special. And today we are going to be talking about aging with dignity and all about assisted living facilities so that we can have a wonderful retirement. And joining me today is Don Wright of Pelican Garden in Sebastian and Integrity Dixie Oak Manors of Vero Beach, along with Margaret Conti, the administrator, and Nora Veras, the director of marketing. So welcome, everybody. It is a pleasure to have you here today.
So happy to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us here.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Absolutely. So we're going to put the spotlight squarely on you, Don, because as the fearless leader, the business owner, I love asking people why they got started in their chosen business. But you have been a serial entrepreneur and a fabulous business owner with lots of interesting stories in your background. So give us a little synopsis about why you got started, even talking about SunUp Advantage, the marketing company.
Okay, sure. Well, I got started in the assisted living business back in 2004. My father-in-law had invested monies to build Dixie Oak Manor way back in 1994. Then it did an expansion in 95, and then they built another facility. And in 2004, he asked me to get in to run Pelican Garden. At that time, I was working in the citrus business, and I said, okay, and I hired an administrator and let the administrator put their staff together. And in the meantime, I invested in 2 other facilities. And what I found in this business is that I developed a passion for it, and that the people that live there, even though they're elderly, have all done something significant in their life. Yeah. And often it's fun for me to sit down and talk with them and learn what they did during their life. So back to the SunUp. SunUp Advantage is a marketing company that also manages these facilities with the help of like Margaret, and we have a couple other administrators in other facilities. And, you know, the addition of this young lady right here, Nora Veras.
Thank you.
You know, to me, any kind of company, no matter what kind of business you're in, is only as good as the people that work in them. And I'm proud of all the people that we have.
That's wonderful. So nice.
Thank you.
So what I really like about these 2 facilities, Pelican Garden and Integrity Dixie Oak Manor, is that while you happily serve all, people from all different economic backgrounds, you also put a spotlight, or I shouldn't say put a spotlight on, but your focus is the middle class. And, when people think about assisted living facilities, they think about, okay, what is my life going to be like, but can I afford this? And for the middle class, it's very problematic. So I am so glad that I found out, thanks to Nora at a networking event, about the facilities. Not only do you work with the middle class, but you accept Medicaid, and you have a veterans program. I loved hearing about that. So now everybody else needs to know. So please tell me all about that.
Well, Ellen, if I could just chime in, and I've probably said this 100 too many times, is people say, tell me about your assisted living facilities. And my reaction is, well, we don't have any chandeliers. And they look at me and they say, what do you mean by that? And I says, we're in the middle market. I says, but our staff is extraordinarily caring. We have great food. And when you walk into our place, it's going to be clean. So I'll let these ladies elaborate a little bit more on that.
It's definitely exceptional care. It's outstanding to see the staff at work. And that's what people look for when they come in.
Mm-hmm.
They want to know, like, so are they going to be cared for? Is this home? And there's a feeling you get when you walk into Pelican Garden, and a lot of people have said it to me, so I know it's not just me. There is a feeling you get when you walk into Pelican Garden, and it is a good feeling.
Yeah.
I would definitely place my mother there. And as far as financial, we do whatever we can to help them.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very daunting process that they're going through.
Yeah.
And when they hear rates, some of them are very alarmed, and you get to know them. You get to see what's feasible, and we will work with them as much as we possibly can to get them in there, to make them a part of our family, because that's what we are. We're a family.
Well, that's wonderful. And Nora, you actually gave me some information about an event for veterans, and it was an educational event, and you have a veterans program. And you know what? I actually read an article not too long ago that there's a lot of veterans, and I don't remember the statistic, unfortunately, but a lot of veterans don't really fully understand all the benefits that are available to them.
Exactly.
So what about the veteran program can you tell us?
We try to communicate to the residents and to the community the best that we can as to the benefits that they have. Some of them don't remember that their spouse even served, and that their benefits can also apply to the spouse.
Really?
The residents, the surviving spouses.
Okay.
So actually, thanks to Dawn, that puts the events together along with our community, the community from VA. They come and they inform all the residents about these benefits, are sometimes hidden and they didn't know about. So that helps for their, for their living, and all the expenses that they have to incur, and the families too. It's like a help that was a hidden thing.
So you have made people very happy and at ease. It's almost like, oh, thank goodness, And so Cindy, our wonderful radio producer, found out the statistic, and it's 50% of veterans do not fully understand their benefits. So this is wonderful.
They don't understand the pension, the aid and attendance, what the difference is, what goes for what. Yeah. But it's Todd, right, Don? Todd Heckman.
Todd Heckman is the gentleman that actually helps families, and he comes in and speaks to the benefits.
Very knowledgeable.
Yeah, and it's pretty significant. It's up to $1,300 to $1,500. It depends on how much assets the families have and what their income is, but it is a kind of a newfound money for those that don't know, especially those that can't afford assisted living.
Yeah. So what could be a very scary, thought is now they're made to feel so much more comfortable and relieved. So speaking about feeling relieved, people do get nervous about going into an assisted living facility, and they want to make sure that they're in the right place. So I love this testimonial that you have. This is very, very powerful, because there is a retired nurse, an RN, that is living at Pelican, you said. But not only that, she's an ombudsman. And I really did not fully understand what that meant. So please explain that, because again, this just goes to show if she's there, it's because it's a great place. So what does that mean?
Well, ombudsman protects resident rights. They want to make sure that everybody that is in a facility is having their rights protected. They're not suffering from any type of exploitation, abuse, neglect. The phone numbers for ombudsman are posted all over all of our facilities, so that if anybody has a concern. And I always tell everybody, it doesn't even have to be at our facility. If you feel something is happening to your elder person, you need to call them and contact them, and they will come in. We have gotten clear, they come in yearly for surveys, as well as the state. And both facilities, for far back as I've reviewed since I started, have never had any type of complaint that was warranted. It was all unjustified complaints. So that speaks volumes. It definitely speaks volumes. When an administrator doesn't have to be nervous when state or ombudsman enter the building, you're in a good place.
That's wonderful. Yeah. So she would not be there if she felt that this was,
She told
And
me.
she had a territory.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Nora.
Sorry,
Go
sorry.
ahead.
No, she did. That's the first thing that she told me when I introduced myself. You know, first she told me she was a retired nurse, that she had served the community, specifically Fellsmere. She said that was her baby, and that she had been into many facilities, and that she wouldn't trade this Pelican Garden for anything. And that made me feel so good about, especially for coming from a resident that used to help the community.
Sure.
As well.
And
So.
she could have gone anywhere.
Yes.
So.
And her territory was West Palm Beach to north of Melbourne. And when I first met her and she was telling me this story, I just stopped and sat down next to her and wanted to learn more about it. And she winked at me and said, "You see where I ended up, right?" And it took me a minute to catch on to what she was saying. But it's it's a pretty good testimonial for us and for our staff, because she has many options. She knows about all the options, and we're really pleased to have her in our community.
Oh, that's wonderful. And you also have other people that were in the medical field that are also living at your facilities as well. So
And
they
teachers,
also,
too.
oh yeah,
Teachers, we have many teachers.
And RNs.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that again, if you have more than one healthcare provider or former, professional in that arena that is at your facility, that again is an amazing testimonial.
Yes, I think
So what I think I will do right now is take a quick break, because I don't want to start another question and then have to get interrupted. So we'll just take a break right now. We have so much more to talk about living abundantly in your refirement, not retirement, when we come back. So stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Cindy, the proud owner of Cindy's Cleaning Service. I consider it a privilege to be welcomed to people's homes and offices to make them shine. We do it all from ceiling fans to floors, dusting, and windows. With Cindy's Cleaning Service, you get quality cleaning and affordable rates. We are also licensed and insured. Please give us a call and we will give you a free estimate. Cindy's Cleaning Service, 569-9348. At Cindy's Cleaning Service, the Lord is our strength.
If you operate a small business, you need services like payroll, tax compliance, HR tools, and other resources. You need Complete Employee Solutions. Vero Beach has a team of professionals, including Anthony Sammons, Matt McCain, and Jennifer Comer, who saw the need for competent payroll, HR, and employee leasing services. Call Complete Employee Solutions at 772-978-7277 or visit their website at CompleteEmployeeSolutions.com.
Blue Dolphin Pools strives to provide quality service with a well-trained staff in the field and in the office. They want you to know that your pool or spa investment means much more to them than just another account. They believe you have entrusted them with your investment, and they'll do their best to see that it stays in top condition. Blue Dolphin Pool has been in business over 35 years, setting them apart from the competition. Residential or commercial, Blue Dolphin will keep you in the swim. 567-5853.
ITEX, or International Trade Exchange, is the largest barter company in the world, with over 25,000 members offering goods and services. We're a marketing company that brings you new business in the way of trade, with over 200 local members enjoying the benefits of ITEX, like lawyers, doctors, plumbers, media, printing, and more.
Hi, this is Liz Bowler. Contact me and find out why barter through ITEX has been smarter for over 30 years. 772-532-1881. Visit itex.com.
Back from our commercial break. My name is Ellen Contreras of the Ferris Group, one of our sponsors. We've been having a really great conversation about living out our golden years with dignity in refirement, not retirement. And Don Wright, Margaret Conti, and Nora Veras from Pelican Garden in Sebastian and Integrity Dixie Oak Manor of Vero Beach. We've been having a wonderful discussion about their facilities, and we're going to pick right back up where we left off. We were talking about the people that are in the healthcare space that have chosen to retire and be at your facilities. So now what I want to do is talk about your staff. I used to be in staffing and recruiting for many, many years. So when I hear that there is very low turnover at a place, I'm thinking this is a good place, because that means that management knows how to manage well. And keep their staff motivated, and it's an environment that people like to work in. And that has a very positive effect on the residents when there's low turnover. So I'd love to hear more about, and even when I took the tour, people that were working there, as I was walking around, smiling and saying hello, and they're just so happy. And I also want to talk about another thing that you mention on your websites is the cleanliness of the facility. Amazing. So let's talk about the people first. So it's let's just talk about.
Well, I do know at Pelican Garden we have at least 5 that I can think of that have been there 10 plus years. And the rest, I don't think there's anybody under 2 years, because now I'm there 2 years.
Okay.
So I don't think there's anybody under 2 years. Mostly if somebody leaves, it's because of personal family issues. Other than that, we retain staff. Staff gets along fabulously. I know over at Integrity Dixie Oak Manor, I would say 75% of them have been there over 5 years.
Wow.
And the manager over there actually was at Pelican Garden, and then she went over there to become the manager. So it's like we are one big happy family. So nobody really does want to leave. They are happy, and that is what people need to look at too. Are the employees happy? Because if the employees aren't happy, the care is not going to be there.
Yeah.
It's just not. It's just not.
The one thing that stuck out or sticks out in my mind would be Margaret mentioned she's been at Pelican Garden for a couple of years, and when we hired her, I think she was there like a couple of weeks or something, and we were talking on the phone, and Margaret says, "My gosh, this staff is excellent." And I'm assuming she compares that to where she was, and the fact that we've had people here for so long, and that's really unheard of in this industry.
It is. I know that from firsthand experience with my mom, before she passed. And yeah, there's a lot of turnover in the industry. So,
and it shows that they're there for the passion and compassion. It's not just a job. Like, they take every resident there, it becomes their family.
Yeah.
And they treat them as such. And I was impressed before I even joined the group. I was an outsider looking in, and formerly in home health, and I had the clinical eye, and you walk in and you see how wonderful the staff was. I was totally impressed by Miss Margaret to begin with, because it's unheard of for an administrator to really know what the resident needs are, and when they leave to go to a rehab place and then they come back, she's on top of things as to what their needs are. How did they leave? How did they go before they went there? And how did they came back? They come back? And it was amazing to me, because it was like most people are so in tune with their jobs that, even if you tried, it's hard to manage to keep an eye on the residents as much as she did. And I was totally impressed. That's why I became part of the family. And then the staff always, like you said, when you went touring, they're always greeting. They're always happy. Yeah. They're not there just for the paycheck. You can tell they're there because they have passion and compassion for the jobs.
And if you don't have that, you really can't work for us.
That's true.
It's that simple.
That's true.
Because we're in the hospitality business. We're taking care of folks that are living in their home. They're renting a room. It's their home. If you're renting a house, it's your house.
Yes.
And our staff knows that these are our residents' home. And we have a privilege to be there and to help them and work with them. Activities, there's activities. The staffs, most facilities have activities directors. We don't. The activities are handled by all all the staff.
Yeah.
You know, including me from time to time. If I really want people active and engaged and out. And if Margaret calls me and says, you know,
were you driving a bus?
Raul's not going to be here. He's on vacation.
I know.
Drive the bus.
I know. I drive the bus. and I tell the
he
residents.
He actually clears his calendar for us. He loves it.
Yeah.
He loves
it's more rewarding for me than it is for them to take these folks out. And we prank Margaret. We do all kinds of fun things.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful.
We're a
but
family.
One thing, though, I do want to touch on, because you've mentioned it specifically on your websites, and I know when people read things, they go, yeah, right? So I have to tell you, my mom was such a clean freak that with the Odd Couple, the Felix Unger, Oscar Madison,
I remember that.
my mom made Felix Unger look like the slob. And I'm telling you, if she was alive and needed to go in and took a tour, she would say, "Where do I sign? I don't even need to see the room."
We only have one housekeeper.
Are you
she,
kidding?
One housekeeper, and she does all of that. And we just hired a new one at Integrity. Dixie Oak, that's doing an amazing job as well.
I was looking for stuff. I have to tell you, I sincerely was. We popped into the kitchen after our meeting, and it was right after breakfast. And my eye went to two places first immediately: floor, counter. And I'm like, there's nothing there.
They are so good. That's my pride and joy. When I tour the residents and their families, I take them right to the kitchen, because first of all, the good food comes out of there. Second of all, they always take such pride of whatever they do in there, because I try not to go in there unless I'm tasting something, because they have such wonderful. The banana bread is amazing. Thanks to Mimo.
But, here's something else, because I don't want to run out of time before I ask this question. So when people are thinking about looking at an assisted living facility, whether they're going to move in or if it's an adult child looking out for their parents, what do you recommend that as they're going through a tour to pay attention to, whether it's your place or any other facility?
When you walk in the door, check the cleanliness. Try to do an impromptu walk-in.
Okay.
Try not to
Surprise,
schedule it.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Okay,
Try not
good.
to schedule it. And then look at each resident. Are they clean? Is their hair okay? Do they look like they've been groomed? Then look at the staff. Is the staff happy, or are they walking around like drones? Those are the main things, because if those things are askew, you don't want to put your parent, or no matter how fancy it is, no matter how great the cosmetics or the aesthetics are, if it's not clean, if the employees aren't happy, residents aren't happy.
Okay. Very good. And then, so we're almost out of time, but socialization is also important. So when we're at home and we're feeling good, we can get around. But when you move into an assisted living facility, you guys have that really down pat. So talk of just 1 minute about the social part of it.
We
try to keep them active mentally, socially, and physically as well.
Arts, crafts, music,
exercises, dancing,
singing, barbecues. Yeah.
And we thank the community for that too, because as much as we provide, a lot of outside vendors also help us try to keep them active, because that prevents the mental decline. And that's like a number one, depression's number one factor.
Yes.
And that's what we try to do. Socializing, it keeps them happy and smiling.
That is wonderful. So we are almost out of time. So I just wanted to say thank you so much to Dawn and Margaret and Nora for being here. Please tell everyone how that they can connect with you directly.
Pelican Gardens phone number is 772-388-4730. My email is margaret@pelicangarden.com. And Nora is nora@pelicangarden.com. And then Integrity Dixie Oak Manor is 772-564-9393. And the manager there is Leticia at DixieOakManor.com.
Well, that's wonderful.
And you can find us on the web at DixieOakManor.com or PelicanGarden.com.
Yes.
Well, very
For
good.
more information.
And both
So-
have Facebook pages.
Yep, and that brings us literally almost to the end. So thank you so much for joining me with this Treasure Coast Connector episode. I hope everyone has a wonderful and productive week.
Thank you.